Mm. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Good morning. It's going to be a big one. We're going to have a big one today, fam. Here we have it. You too? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Sometimes I think YouTube is just so behind. But you got to do what you got to do, right? Everybody, we got a lot of things today. The big one. And I hope my entire community who are subscribed and who got all the notifications on, there's the comments right there, everybody. My man, 148, guys, 148. Yesterday, we were live at around 144, 143. And for our surprise, we are seeing beautiful pumps. And I'm excited. And let me know in the comments down below who bought the dip. Pays off, huh? Pays off now. I have some ideas as to why the price could be going higher. But immediately, let me keep you in the know with the latest info. That's what we do here. Now, you might wonder, or some of you might don't care, but why are you live, Oscar, so early? Well, because of this. News conference today prior to the Trump-Kennedy board meeting. And that board meeting is going to happen at around 10:45 a.m. my time. So there's going to be a news conference maybe at 10 a.m. or so. And right now, it's 9:30 for me. So 30 minutes from now or so, like there's just a few minutes away. And I'm watching Fox right now. And Fox is telling me, hey, it's coming up soon. So you're going to be watching President Donald J. Trump live with the latest of what's going on with Iran, the latest what's going on with oil, the latest what's going on with the world. So I don't want to miss it. And I'm bringing you with me. Drop a like right now. Consider subscribing to the channel. Welcome aboard. I'm very excited. How are you doing? How are you doing? And while we do that, here is Caroline Levitt speaking just a couple hours ago. Couple minutes ago. So enjoy.
Monday. It stopped raining, so I'll take a few questions.
Caroline, quick question on the trip to China. Will the president delay that if the war is still going on, and on that, has the president spoken to China about?
Yes. So the president looks forward to meeting with President Xi in China. This is a trip I know he's long been looking forward to, and I know President Xi has been looking forward to welcoming President Trump. As for the dates, as you heard from the president last night, there's a possibility the trip could be delayed. We'll keep you posted on that, but these are leader-to-leader conversations that are happening, so as soon as we have an update, we'll provide the new dates.
Caroline, President Trump says that other countries should now step up to safeguard ships in the Straits of Hormuz. Why should other countries that were consulted about this war, that are involved in this war, now put their troops in harm's way in the Strait of Hormuz?
Because these other countries are benefiting greatly from the United States military taking out the threat of Iran. The rogue Iranian regime has long not just posed a threat to the United States of America, but of course to our Gulf and Arab partners in the region. As you see, I believe Iran has struck more than 300 civilian targets in the Gulf region. If you think about Europe, their ballistic missile capability that the United States military is currently wiping out was a direct and imminent threat to our European allies as well as our bases in the region, which is why President Trump took this action in the first place. So these countries are absolutely benefiting from ensuring that Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. This is something not just the United States, but the entire Western world has agreed with for many, many years. So I think the president is absolutely right to call on these countries to do more, to help the United States to reopen the Strait of Hormuz so that we can stop this terrorist regime from restricting the free flow of energy. And the fact that they are doing so just underscores why President Trump needed to take this action in the first place.
The president just told the UK a few days ago that he doesn't need their ships, and now he says he does?
The president spoke on that last night. He said that he wished the UK had stepped up sooner and quicker, but he continues to speak with our allies in Europe and is calling on them to do more, just as he did when he called on them to step up with respect to their defense spending in NATO. He's calling them to do more here, and I think you'll see that come to fruition.
So why does the president feel like he needs 2,500 or so Marines in the Middle East right now?
I would defer you to the Pentagon on that troop movement, and it's not something I'm going to get ahead of the Commander-in-Chief on. Yeah, and look, I'm not going to get ahead of him on any options that may be on the table for the president.
So Italy and Germany both indicated they're not willing to send the troops to police the Strait of Hormuz. In case NATO refused to do that, what is Plan B for President Trump?
Right now, the president is being very clear to NATO and to our allies in Europe what he wants them to do. And again, I think you're going to see that come to fruition. I would just add on one scheduling note, later this afternoon, you'll see the president yourselves. He just told me he wants to bring you all in for the Kennedy Center board meeting lunch, so you can get ready for that if you're part of the pool today.
We're ready.
And then, of course, at 3:30 this afternoon, he will be signing an executive order alongside the vice president to formally launch the anti-fraud task force, which will investigate fraud across the country. The vice president will be leading that, so you'll see them in the Oval Office later today. So I'll leave it to the president to answer the rest of your questions. Yeah.
Where does that stand right now? And has the president set a deadline that he wants to see China take any potential action?
No, I just answered the question. It's a leader-to-leader conversation at this point. President looks forward to visiting China. The dates may be moved. As Commander-in-Chief, it's his #1 priority right now to ensure the continued success of this operation, Epic Fury. So we'll keep you posted on the dates as soon as we can. Thanks, guys.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? We're going to be listening to Donald J. Trump in a few moments from now. But guess what? Like I told you yesterday, we're going to be watching right now the Air Force One 20-plus minute video because it's live now. I'm watching Fox right now, and everybody's using that one for clips. So yeah, here it is.
Hello, everybody. So we have a lot of things to talk about, but there's not much I can say to you about them. So one of those little problems in life. And we had some very good results today, as you probably heard, in Iran. Very strong results, militarily results. We're talking to countries about policing the straits because they are the ones, we don't get oil, very little, 1%, 2%. China, as an example, gets about 90% of its oil from the Hormuz Strait. And nice to have other countries police that with us. And we'll help, we'll work with them. Militarily, as far as I'm concerned, we've essentially defeated Iran. I guess they can have a little bit of fight back, but not much. Not much. We've taken out their air forces, we've taken out their navy. We've taken out their air defense. There's no air defense whatsoever. We've taken out their leadership times 2 or 3. Might be
1, 2, 3, 4. About 4 days of very nice green candles here for the price of XRP. That's helping a lot of people. That is reigniting something because, founders like Charles Hoskinson with Cardano, I was watching during the weekend or so. They're tired of not seeing pumps. So I know some people don't trust this rally. I know it's kind of like ambiguous what to believe right now, but I will tell you that it could be because of all the oil reserves already hitting the market. As you know, the U.S. and a lot agencies and countries around the globe, they already opened up some of those reserves. And right now, what it looks like is they're now protecting the tankers, right, the cargo out of the Strait of Hormuz. So, policing basically the traffic, right? As we know, they could destroy the island, right? That it's Iran's 90% production of oil and refining. I don't think Iran wants that. So the U.S. has leverage, right? And for that are we going to get peace much sooner? Because if it is, then we're going to see the price pump and go higher.
We'll find out soon. But militarily, it's been amazing. We attacked Karg Island, and we left just the one little area standing, and the standing part is where they have the pipes, all the oil pipes come in. And we can do that on 5 minutes notice. We have it all locked and loaded and ready to go if we want to do it. But we chose not to do it. I chose not to do it yet. We'll see what happens. They want to negotiate. They want to negotiate badly. I don't think they're ready. Just on what I'm hearing, they want to negotiate badly, as they should. But I don't think they're ready to do what they have to do. But I think they will be ready at some point. But we're doing very well with respect to that whole situation in Iran. We are talking to other countries about working with us on the policing of the strait. And I think we're getting good response. If we do, that's great. And if we don't, that's great too. But remember, like as an example, in many cases, they're NATO countries. We're always there for NATO. We're helping them with Ukraine. As many, it's got an ocean in between us. Doesn't affect us, but we've helped them. It'd be interesting to see what country wouldn't help us with a very small endeavor, which is just keeping the strait open. That, by comparison, it's small because Iran has very little firepower left. Their missiles are down to a low number. You see, they're shooting very few of them. You know why? Because they don't have very many of them. And because we've decimated their manufacturing capability. Likewise, the drones are way down. They're down to about 20% of what they had. Still have some, and they're pretty tough. But the drones are down, and we're starting hitting, as of yesterday, we're hitting places where they manufacture the drones. We think most of which we know where they are. So it's a very strong military operation, just as it was in Venezuela. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world by far, not even a contest. And I think people understand that. And we will finish the job.
Mr. President, which countries have said that they will help?
Well, I can't say yet. It's a little early. They were contacted today and last night. But we've had some positive response. We had a few that would rather not get involved.
Is China one of them?
I don't want to tell you about that. I mean, I can't really say for sure, but China's an interesting case study. They get most of their oil, as you know, by far. They get a lot, about 90% from the strait. So I said, would you like to come in and we'll find out. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. You know, there's some other deeper reasons why they may not. They should come in my opinion. It never made sense for years. If you go back and look at what I've said years ago, I said, why are we maintaining the Ramos Strait when it's really there for China and many other countries? Why aren't they doing it? And that's because we had weak leadership, to be honest with you. But I'm bringing it up now because I think even long term, I think it's something that other countries should help us with.
How many other countries, Mr. President?
And again, remember there's about 7. We talked to about 7. Just remember that it's something that we don't need, and these countries do need. And yet for years, it's like, for years we've been maintaining it, doing a great job. And now that the war is, now that they've been diminished in terms of military, their military has been greatly diminished. I think it's a good thing for other countries to come in. Now, it would have been nice, as I said to the Prime Minister of the UK, who sort of was reluctant to put his 2 aircraft carriers into harm's way. That would be 2 weeks ago. And as soon as we demolished, essentially, pretty much demolished them, not over yet, but pretty much we're in great shape. Let's put it that way, as everybody knows. He said, we'd like to send our aircraft carriers. I said, I don't want them after we win the war. I want them before we start the war. So whether we get support or not, but I can say this, and I said it to them.
Now we can get Canada to keep their cold fronts above the border. I know, everybody. How's it going, guys? And welcome. Good morning. We're going to be watching Donald J. Trump live in just a moment. Right now, we're just listening to the interview they had earlier, yesterday as they were heading to Washington, D.C., which was pretty nice. All things happen, and we do want to hear what's going on and the latest with
We
this one.
will remember.
We will remember, he says.
How soon, sir, would this begin?
Well, it started immediately, but it will take a little time to get here. Some of the countries have minesweepers, that's good. Some of the countries have a certain type of boat that could help us. Some of the countries would be, helpful. Remember, it only takes a couple of people to screw up the strait, a couple of terrorists. You don't need their military is defeated, but all you need is a few people dropping mines here and there, and you louse it up. So we need. I'm demanding that these countries come in and protect their own territory, because it is their territory. It's the place from which they get their energy, and they should come and they should help us protect it. You could make the case that maybe we shouldn't even be there at all, because we don't need it. We have a lot of oil. We're the #1 producer anywhere in the world times 2, by double, at least double. Now I think it's much higher than that. But we do it. It's almost like we do it for habit. But we also do it for some very good allies that we have in the Middle East.
Sir, you mentioned that Iran wants to make a deal. However, earlier today, we heard their foreign minister say they never said they wanted to make a deal, that they'll do whatever they can to prevent Iran.
What they tell you and what they tell the public, I just put out a truth about their disinformation. I assume most of you saw it. But they use AI. They said they attacked the USS Abraham Lincoln, one of the largest ships in the world, an aircraft carrier, and they show pictures of it burning. It was never attacked, it was never burning. The Wall Street Journal put out a false story that 5 of our big, beautiful tankers that we feed the planes with, give the planes the gas, jet fuel, hundreds of thousands of gallons of gasoline, that they were all essentially destroyed. They weren't destroyed at all. In fact, 4 of them were not even, literally were not damaged. And 1 of them has slight damage and it'll be back in the air soon. But if you read the Wall Street Journal, it's like they were totally decimated and destroyed, like Iran has been. So they put out phony stories. The kamikaze boats don't exist. They're fake. And you can almost see that when you look at them. It looks great, because if they did exist, we'd hit them just like we hit other boats all over the place. But they don't exist. In fact, some of the people say, where are the boats? Well, how come nobody's seen the boats? You know why? Because it's AI generated. It's fake. And I didn't realize this before we started, but Iran is known for a lot of fake news. And they deal with our fake news. And I actually think it's pretty criminal, because our media companies, who have no credibility whatsoever, are putting out information that they know is false, and it's a very dangerous thing for the country. I think they could be in serious jeopardy.
Mr. President, your PAC put out a fundraising email a couple of days ago, and it's being criticized for using official White House photos of you at the dignified transfer. And the PAC is also promising access to secret.
Well, I was at the
briefings.
dignified transfer, unlike a lot of other
Do you think it's
people.
an appropriate email to send? Your critics are saying that your fundraising.
I didn't see it. Somebody puts it out. We have a lot of people working for us, but there's nobody that's better to the military than me. And all you have to do is look at the election, look at the election results, look at the kind of votes that we get, look at the poll numbers. There's nobody that's ever been higher as a president than me with the military.
Can you guys comment on the 6 dead soldiers? ABC News.
One of the worst, most fake, most corrupt.
Give a comment on the dead
You know what,
soldiers.
ABC News? I think it's maybe the most corrupt news organizations on the planet. I think they're terrible.
Can you give a
Okay,
comment?
I don't want any more from ABC.
Right here. What's
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. What's Israel doing to help secure the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, they're working with us. The relationship with Israel, that was other fake news. They were saying, oh, did I have an argument with Bibi? No, we really get along well. And he would tell you we're leading the whole thing. And they can say it or not say it, it doesn't matter. The main thing is to get it done. But my relationship with Bibi Netanyahu is, I would say, extraordinary, actually.
Just to give you an idea, fam, of what we went through, the last couple of weeks. way terrible prices, and you can already tell with the historical values on the fear and greed in the chart. Right now, we're at about 23. Not bad, actually. I mean, of course, we're not at $2 XRP yet, but that's where we're heading, everybody. Are you going to be waiting for $2 to finally wake up? Some people are, and that's okay with me, right? But we're not. I mean, I'm doing it right now, and the possibilities are endless. And I think it is a good call to action, right? To say, like, in the fear, a lot of people start selling, but anytime things can change, and that's really, really fun. So I hope, right? I hope and pray that this Iran conflict ends quickly. I mean, ideally by the end of March, and then we can actually move on. But you just never know, right? Things can change, but you just never know. You just got to be prepared, right?
If I can,
go ahead.
When you called for the people of Iran to rise up, overthrow the government, what's going on there? They haven't done that. Do you expect them to?
You're dealing with thugs. You're dealing with horrible people. You're dealing with people that are violent and vicious. And that's the leadership and the people right under them, their military or their police. And they've notified everybody, and they put out statements that if you protest, you're going to be shot and killed. The protesters have no guns. And I know you're a brave person, but I don't think you'd be protesting. And so I think it's very hard for them to protest. I fully understand it. They said, if you protest, you will be killed. A week ago and 2 weeks ago, they killed 32,000 protesters. At least we think the number's much higher than that. They shot and killed 32,000 protesters who were greatly enthusiastic and want to see a change because they've destroyed the country. The people that are running have destroyed the country. But think of it, they shot and killed much more than 32,000 people. Now they put out a notice 2 days ago that we're going to shoot and kill any protester. And they don't have guns, meaning the protesters have no guns. So I can fully understand why they're not doing it. Oh, one other thing that was AI generated, they showed about 250,000 people in a square saying how much they love Khomeini. Totally AI generated. It never took place. The media knew it didn't take place, but they built it up like they have great support. They don't have support. And that whole rally that they had 3 days ago, 4 days ago, that they said was fake. It was AI generated. AI can be very dangerous. We have to be very careful with it. But the rally, because I was actually surprised to see, because I know how much the people hate this leadership. This leadership has destroyed the country. The rally that everybody, including ABC Fake News, your network is the worst. But everybody put that rally on. Like, oh, and even I was surprised. I looked. It turned out, I found out today, it was a totally AI-generated fake news story put out by news organizations in the U.S. and elsewhere. And honestly, they really shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Mr. President, are there any diplomatic talks going on between the U.S. and Iran at all right now?
Yeah, we're talking to them.
What are the
but I don't think they're ready. But they're getting pretty close. I don't know that I want to make a deal, because you know what? First of all, nobody even knows who you're dealing with, because most of their leadership has been killed, as you know, right? So I don't even know that we want to make a deal. They want to make a deal badly, yes.
Mr. President, you mentioned that Iran's military has been decimated economically in other ways. Are you ready to officially declare victory?
No, I don't want to do that. There's no reason to. I think I'd just say they're decimated, but I wouldn't do that. I think that we've done damage to them right now. If we left right now, it would take them 10 years and more to rebuild. But I'm still not declaring it over. Our military is incredible. The job they've done is just incredible. And the problem is that when you look at fake stories written by you people, written by and generated by AI, it's incredible. And I just wonder, like Jeff, do you know that these are fake stories? Did you know that the rally of 250,000 people. The supposed rally was fake. Did you know that?
I saw the reporting on it.
But you wrote about it. You talked about it, and you knew it was fake. It was AI generated.
No, I didn't know it was fake.
You did. You knew it. You knew it.
Sir, have you talked about
Anybody that knew the country knew there's not 250,000 people willing to stand in a circle and say how great Khomeini is. Okay.
So are you unhappy that
you talk about the military objectives?
Yeah.
What about political leadership in Iran? What type of leadership
We have
needs to be?
people, some are dead, but we have some people that we think would be good. I mean, we'll see about that.
Is that
It's something we talk about. See what happens.
Sir, you talked about selling oil futures.
5,000 Marines and sailors. Can you explain why
You're
you're...
a very obnoxious person. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I wanted to ask if you talked about about selling oil futures as a way of capping prices, trying to keep prices down at the pump.
The prices are going to come tumbling down as soon as it's over, and it's going to be over pretty quickly.
Do you have any concerns about the political impacts of this? I mean,
I have to do what's right. You know, political, I'm sure everybody has concern. I have to do what's right. I can't say that, you know, gee, I don't want to have any impact on oil prices for 3 or 4 weeks or 2 months, and we're going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon and blow up the entire Middle East and beyond, right? Because, you know, they were going to blow up the Middle East. If I didn't terminate the Obama horrible deal, the Iran nuclear deal it's called, if I didn't terminate that in my first term, they would have already had a nuclear weapon, and they would have used it immediately upon getting it. And if I didn't send in the B-2 bombers to bomb the hell out of it and obliterate, and that's what it was, we obliterated that site and stopped all their potential nuclear. If I didn't do that, you would have had Israel and the Middle East hit by nuclear weapons. And we wouldn't be talking about this right now. What I did in terminating the Iran nuclear deal, and what I did in sending in the B-2 bombers, it was one of the most incredible attacks anyone's ever seen. Late at night, dark, no moon, and every single bomb went right down those chutes and blew the whole place apart. If I didn't do that, you would have had nuclear warfare in the Middle East, and I think Israel would have been obliterated. I think lots of the Middle East would have been. And you saw that when they sent thousands of missiles to countries that didn't expect anything. They didn't think they were going to be involved. And yet you look at what happened with Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. You take a look at Qatar. I mean, they sort of got along. And all of a sudden they're being barraged by missiles. These people would have used nuclear on the entire Middle East. And that was their plan, take over the whole Middle East. And it failed with the nuclear. And then they had thousands of missiles. And for the most part, largely, we've now destroyed those missiles. Thank you very much, everybody.
One other
Thank
topic.
you.
Can you tell us about Cuba? You're talking to Cuba. What do you want to hear from them, and
Well,
what is that risk for them?
I am holding Cuba. Cuba's a failed nation. Cuba also wants to make a deal. And I think we will pretty soon, or either make a deal or do whatever we have to do. We have a lot of great people that happen to vote for Trump. Not that that matters, but we have a lot of great people from Cuba that were violently and viciously thrown out of the country, and worse, their families were killed. And so we're talking to Cuba, but we're going to do Iran before Cuba.
And what is at risk?
And you know,
for
people
Cuba?
have been waiting 50 years to hear this story with Cuba. When I left Palm Beach today, there were thousands of people on the road. I'm sure you saw them. And they were from Cuba and from Venezuela, all friendly, waving the flag and waving the American flag. They've been waiting 50 years for what's happening with Cuba. So I think something will happen with Cuba pretty quickly.
Do you have an opinion on the Iran school strike? Is it looking more likely that it was the U.S.'s fault? Maybe the Iran school strike that happened on the first day of the war?
We don't know. That's under investigation.
Mr. President, what do you want to see in a deal with Iran to end the war, and how does that differ from Israel's objectives?
I think we have similar objectives, really, but could be a little bit different. You know, they're there and we're very far away, but I think we probably have pretty similar with Israel. The relationship has been very good. The militaries are very well coordinated. Ours is the strongest by far in the world, and they have a real good military, you know, really good. They have a lot of our weapons. They have our planes. They have our missiles. They have our Patriots. They have a lot of our weapons. We have the best. We make the best weapons in the world. And now what we're doing, as you probably saw, we have the Raytheon and all of the Lockheed. All of these companies are now building plants because we don't want to wait. We make the best weapons, but we don't like to have to wait for them. What we do have, though, is at a very high level, we have unlimited weapons at a medium to high level. And they're really doing the trick. And we're not using they call it the elite weapons, because frankly, they haven't, outside of the original attack, they haven't been necessary. But these companies are building facilities, and they've already started all over many of them are building many buildings right now to make so that we wait 2 weeks instead of 2 years for weapons.
So last week you said that we're nowhere near sending ground troops to the Middle East. Are we still
I don't talk to people like you about that. I mean, why would I tell you I'm sending or not sending? I don't talk about a military strategy. Who would talk about? I mean, who would answer a question like that?
Do you have a comment on the 6 service members who passed last week?
Who else?
And Trump, savage.
To start off with, there will be no nuclear weapons. That's where it starts. And then on top of that, there's plenty of things that we're going to get. Thank you very much.
Comment about Israel?
Man, brother, like he's 79, bro. Can't believe this guy. How he does it, bro. And for those who wonder, like, no way, dude, bro. You should have seen him 10 years ago when he was running for the first time. Like 10 years ago, guys, that was real magnificent Trump in his whole energy, bro. 10 years ago, that was crazy Trump. Right now, we got Grandpa Trump. We got, the veteran Trump, the B-2 bomber Trump. That was crazy, guys. Absolutely insane. Welcome, fam. How we doing? Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, through the notification bells right now. That helps a lot the channel. We got a bunch of people here. We got my admins here. We got members. We got a lot of things going on. We're going to be watching Donald J. Trump live moments from now. We don't really have an exact date for the news conference, but we're waiting. I'm watching Fox right now, so I'll keep you in the know. They're going to live stream it soon, so I'm just going to find that stream for you very quickly, okay? How we doing, guys? Welcome. Welcome. Oh, 150. Let's go, baby. Oh, let's go ahead and bring the other trading view. Baby, oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Oh, don't you know? Pump it up. Pepe, bro. Look at that Pepe. Oh, yes. 16% Pepe, Caspa, 8% Pengu, 6% Bread, 5% Cardano, 6%. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. That's what I'm talking about, baby. The official Pump Live. How we doing? How many days in the garbage can? How many days in the sewers? How many days in the dump fire hell that we've been through? I'm so ready for this, man. That's why I'm live. 1, because Trump is going to speak, and 2, because I want to see the fam. Yes. Shorts are getting liquidated right now. Shorts are getting demolished. Somebody said, after 8 years, let's go. Why are we getting excited at 150? It's just about resistances. It's about destroying resistances, brother. Right now, or actually touching resistances that we need to, bro. 73,000 BTC right now. I went to 74. Really, really good. Just take a look at that. Head and shoulders for Bitcoin. By the way, soon Trump news conference. Perfect. I want to see AP News. No, is it live? There you go. We got it. Don't you know? Pump it up. Okay, we got AP News. Let's see what's going on. What's cooking there? I'll pause it. What else is doing really well? Let's go to CoinMarketCap right now, fam. I'll bring you everything you need to know. Pepe is the one, dude. We got FET, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, Polkadot with 10%. We got Caspa. Put in the chat right now which ones you guys own. I mean, we got 2 meme coins doing well, and that is exactly why I'm still holding my Pengu. That is exactly why I'm still holding my Pengu. Yes, I mean, it is a part of my portfolio. It's not everything, right? But I'm still holding some meme coins. Why not? Jasmine, what's up, JB? I mean, I'm not seeing Jasmine here, but I'm sure that eventually, right? I see Pengu with 8%. That's pretty nice, bro. I need money, bro. I need everybody here. We need money. Layer 0, Cardano with 8%. Where is XRP out of wallet? Ondo. XRP has a 6%, so it's not a lot, but it's 150, which is really nice, guys. Really, really, really nice. So we're back to February the 14th. All this time, we're back to February the 14th, guys, just so you know right here. Not bad. Not bad. It's been a while. Basically a month. So 1 full month. Last time that we were at 150 was a month ago. And now we're back at that level right now. So good. So good. So you got all this time at 130. Look at all this. I mean, you could have traded and activated some longs, which, by the way, guys, get in on BTCC right now. First link down below. Some people are cooking with BTCC. Drop a like and let me know right now in the chat if you guys are trading right now. If you are, well done. You are printing today. You're actually printing today. Well done. Perfect. We're going to have the news conference anytime. So we're just ready. So we'll bring you that one once it's live for you. CENTCOM says flown over 6,000 combat flights over Iran, maintaining air support over Iran. Happy Monday! Everybody, happy Monday. How we feeling? If you own stocks, if you own a beautiful retirement account, today you're happy. Today you're waking up with a smile on your face. It's a lot of money. Those are trillions of dollars, guys. Trillions. Breaking news. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says that the U.S. is allowing Iranian oil tankers to pass. That could be a big reason why we're going. Why? Because gas, it's coming down. Yep. From the 100 or something that we had, we need gas to come down, basically. We need that gas to come down. Oh, and by the way, do not forget who we are still missing from. We're still missing the legend, the one and only Jerome Papa Powell. Too late, Powell. This guy, we're going to be live on Wednesday. So, just prepare for some pretty epic moments with Papa Powell, Jerome. Nobody's talking about him. Nobody's saying anything about him, right?
Let's pull that apart. So we are seeing more and more the fuel ships start to go through. The Iranian ships have been getting out already, and we've let that happen to supply the rest of the world. We've seen Indian ships go out now. So the Indians, who rely very heavily on Gulf oil, we believe some Chinese ships have gone out. So that should start ramping up before there are any the flotillas or protective armadas in the Gulf. So we think that there will be a natural opening that the Iranians are letting out, and for now we're fine with that. We want the world to be well supplied. The other thing that we did, we gave a 30-day waiver for Russian oil that was already on the water. Well,
I don't know what's going on with Besson, but yeah, he speaks kind of weird sometimes. Oh man, I'll refresh this. Bull market is back. Is it back? Let's print. I gotta tell you, bro, there's nothing like the crypto community. There's just, we're special people. We're special people. Pump it up, basically. When we are actually running, no one can stop us. No one can stop us. I mean, when we're actually doing a pretty good job, and we really want that. What is this? Tokenization and blockchain technology are for the people. Nice. Because we want to hear.
In the same way, when we digitized things going back 30 years, and you could say, well, I'm going to invest in digital. Well, what the heck does that mean? But it's absolutely essential to every given product, right? So you have digital music, digital newspapers, digital bank accounts in the way that you could operate on your phone without writing a full check. I think in many ways, tokenization, distributed ledger, blockchain technology is going to be disruptive in the same horizontal approach, where inside any given linear, there's going to be dramatic innovation and development in that space. I do think it dramatically democratizes access into a lot of assets. As we think about loan structures, an ability for people to be able to access financing on the consumer level, the ability for individuals to be able to transact value with very little cost associated with that. In the DeFi side, individual to individual without a third-party intermediary between us.
Smells good, guys. Smells good. And I think I remind someone saying that Ripple doesn't have any utility. A hater, a Bitcoin maxi, right? Yesterday. Bro, it's like when the prices are so down, that's when they like to spread false narratives and fake news. Trump says oil prices will drop like a rock as soon as the special military operation in Iran is over. We want that, guys. I mean, it's coming up soon, and when that actually comes to reality, prices are gonna skyrocket. Then we have the Save America Act this week on Wednesday. When it passes, right, it's gonna open up to Clarity Act. Then we're getting closer to a new FOMC day where they're gonna cut rates. We're gonna have a new Fed chair. So, what else? What else do you want? That is where we need to go. I agree. Bear burgers smell good today. What's up, Jay? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. Very happy to see you guys with all the community right now. I mean, it just feels good, you know, to finally win today. It's a good Monday. It's a good Monday. Actually, I'm hungry right now. So if you keep saying burgers, I mean, it's not going to help me. It's not going to help. I'm going to go ahead and eat something after this, guys. What should I eat? Steak? I think so. Why not? Donald J. Trump asked the world to join a multinational naval coalition. Oh, really? They all rejected? Most of them rejected? Italy rejected, Spain rejected, Japan rejected, France hesitant, Norway rejected, Canada rejected, Australia rejected. Huh. That's surprising. It's on Wagyu. Central banks pivot in a hawkish direction as Fed, ECB, BOJ policy decision on tap. The big day of things going on, guys. I gotta tell you. And of course, the one and only. The one and only. Michael Saylor buying the dip. You know he did. Breaking news. Michael Saylor 3 hours ago purchased 22,000 Bitcoin, guys. 22,000 Bitcoin. Who can compete with the whales? Who can compete with the whales, guys? Yeah, at some point the whales are down. Yeah, at some point the whales are getting all the hate. At some point, Peter Schiff is so happy that Michael Saylor is going to end up with zero. But other days when the FUD ends and when the blood on the streets fades, they come back making double the money. Double the money. Like, these guys are so mega rich right now. And just to give you an idea, guess who just passed? Who was it? Bill Gates? In the richest people in the world. CC. If it wasn't Bill Gates, it was someone else that everybody knows. Somebody can help me here. ZZ, the guy. A crypto person is in the top 5, top 10 richest people in the world. And we are not even seeing Bitcoin at its maximum level. That's just so insane. Guys, for reals, guys, I am not gonna let any FUD stop me from becoming extremely wealthy. Praise God. I want that wealth. We've been working for it. It's not that money defines me. It's just that that's what we do, and we gotta put food on the table. It's fun for us to think about crypto and to do crypto, and that's it, right? But if you choose to be average, that's fine. But I don't want to be average. I want to be phenomenal, guys. I want to be phenomenal in everything I do. High energy in the house. 1111. My man, thank you so much. Here's what happened to get done. This is what needs to happen to get done. Save the act, full FOMC pause, government shutdown over, war done, and clarity pass. Of course. Of course. We'll get crazy, guys, but I'm just keeping you updated and in the know from what I can tell. Now, when it's Donald J. Trump speaking, we're ready, guys. Absolutely ready. So, yeah, Token 2049 has been canceled. The spring blockchain calendar just shifted. So, Paris blockchain runs April 15, 16. That's, I think, where everybody's going to be going. Paris. We'll see. Maybe I go to Paris. Who knows? I'll talk to my team. Break in Germany rejects Trump's proposal to participate in the Strait of Hormuz operation. This is not our war, and we didn't start it. Let me tell you something. Donald J. Trump is not going to forget. It is not going to forget. Jay in the house, what's up, buddy? Party at my place. Do it. UAE real estate deals fall 51% since the conflict started. Anybody want to move to Dubai? It's a beautiful place, eh? I love this place. I want to go back. Full armor this week. Oh, yes. U.S. is allowing Iranian oil tankers to go. Oil is dumping hard on this news. I think we're getting closer to that press conference, everybody. It's going to happen now sooner than later. So This is why I'm excited today. You know, we're going to hear a bunch, start speaking to everybody, a bunch of questions, of course. No Lambo for me. I will take a ZR1 Corvette. My man, you know what's good. You know what's good. That's nice. Happy to catch the live at work. What's up? I am God Strude. Very happy to see you, bro. Welcome. You lived there for 8 years. Great place. Hey, lucky. Nice to have you, buddy. Welcome. That's nice. What if he cuts rates? It's not going to happen. If he cuts rates, say goodbye to $1 XRP. We're immediately pumping to 2 at that same moment, at that same time. 2. Boom. Big candle. Yep. But it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So, I mean, that's a surreal idea right now. Going against the CME and just cutting rates, bro, that will be the dream, bro. I need Goliath to be a huge success. Nice, man. So far, getting ready for that press briefing, press conference. And I'm getting, and yeah, I mean, should be coming anytime now. I'm going to check a few things right here. Don't you know? Pump it up. Let's see. That's what we have right now. Let me take a look at. RSBN should be live. Not. It is not. Okay. Okay, there it is. 10:30. Okay. At 10:30 a.m. it says. Okay, just in a couple of minutes right now. 10:30 a.m. Perfect. My time. So it might take like 15 to 20 minutes, which is decent. Pretty good. Nice. All right. We got it. And let's take a look at breaking news. Forbes breaking news. I didn't see it. Yep. There it is. Yeah, that's going to happen eventually soon today. Okay. Guys, get ready. Chilling with a coffee in hand. What's up, T? Yeah, so happy to see you, bro. Welcome. That's really nice. Oh, look at that 151 XRP, man. Yes. Let's take a look at the liquidations right now. What are we seeing right here? So in the last 1 hour, the last 12 hours, so shorts are getting squeezed right now for sure. I mean, I think they thought that this war was gonna get, more intense, and it's not like a lot that they've been liquidated. It's not even close to $1 billion, but you can already tell. Things are going. $240 million, just about, coming close to $100 million liquidated in the last 24 hours for longs. So I think if we have a more violent move to the upside, we could see a billion shorts gone today. And that, well, what's going to happen. It's going to ignite a lot more people to buy, and that candle can keep going much faster. Soon. Well, might coming in like about 9 minutes, guys. So that could be really nice and exciting. Oil prices fall below $95 per barrel. Oil is coming down, guys, which for my truck and for y'all's truck and diesel, that's really good news for you. Really, 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 really good news for us. we could see 350 today. Imagine, bro. I don't think so, 350 today, bro. But hey, I'm bullish. I mean, come on. I think 150 to 160 should be reachable. 150 to 160, right in that range, as we're seeing right now, 151. Because we need a few more good signs so the market gets more bullish, and then you're gonna start seeing the candle. I mean. And it all starts right now with oil, with the FOMC, with the Save America Act. Yeah. What is this? So Trezor has been breached. They've leaked 75,000 contract details. If you refer to this email, it's a scam. Nice. Trezor is one that I like a lot. So as always, everybody, we like to talk about not only making money. Listen to this, please. Listen to this. In crypto, it's not only just about making money, making the XRPs, right? It's about keeping them safe. That's why you want to always use something like this, which is your cold storage wallet, right? Yeah, you can leave it on exchanges, which is fine, right? I mean, do you? I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot tell you what to do, guys. But it is my best recommendation, because this is what I do, is to move it to a safe wallet, and you only have access to it. Never give it to anybody. Keep it safe, private, and that's it. Believe me, it helps a lot when everything goes sideways and everybody gets it's running for their lives because something like an exchange goes missing or withdrawals fail. Yeah. We've been through 6 years of this nonsense. Like, I think 6 years is enough for us to learn lessons, right? Just saying. Just saying. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What do we have here? What do we have here, guys? Analysis. I didn't know what I was going to say. Analysis. XRP climbs past 147 after breaking through multiple months of resistance at 142. Volume surged 250% during the move. Traders watching if support holds. Exactly. So if we take a look at CoinMarketCap right now, we're going to see the volumes and who is winning the volume game. Obviously, Tether. So we have $104 billion Tether. So we're going to skip Tether. We're going to skip USDC. Let's focus on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. So we have $47 billion for Bitcoin. We have $32 billion for Ethereum, $6 billion for Solana, and $3 billion, $3.5 for XRP. Just so you know, XRP is missing a lot of money there because usually XRP is well past USDC and Solana. XRP volume-wise usually is ranked 4. So we're missing around $9 billion in volume. So this is an analysis that maybe not many of you know, right? But in the past, XRP could easily be number 4. Sometimes we say, is it going to pass Ethereum? Because there's a lot of people trading and buying XRP. And right now we're at a level at $3 billion volume. That's basically nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's so much potential, guys, for us. Appreciate you guys stopping by here. We're going to be watching Donald J. Trump soon. Drop a like and consider subscribing. Welcome. Where do you get that XRP coin? They sent it to me. This one, a student of mine, one of my students, before I left my professor job, she gave it to me. And it was super nice. Also, I got this. She gave me this Crypto Millionaires cup. She wrote me a letter. Really nice. She gave me this too. Smells like I was right about XRP. This person, man, like students are precious, right? Now, I was teaching college, so it's our young people that are learning about crypto. And I was teaching, my stuff, but I also was telling them, guys, don't forget about crypto. And out of all the thousands of students that I had, only a tiny fraction of them, right, were actually listening to what I was saying. And I'm happy she did. Right. Coming in, could be coming in anytime now. The White House is it live? Okay, Operation Epic Fury.
We will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Larry, what's up, Larry Ferraro? So happy to see you, buddy. Welcome. I remember you. That's really nice. I was one of your students. Hey, what's up? That's nice. Yeah, I mean, some of them are still here watching. So really good to see you guys. I wish you the best. Go graduate, get those degrees, and crush it. And maybe one day, if you like this, you can open up your YouTube channel and bring it. Because as long as you have the passion, the dedication, the discipline. Because remember, discipline starts when motivation fades, right? Motivation is going to end very quickly. It's short term. But discipline is really what gets you through and makes you unstoppable. So that's something I've learned in my life. You got to do it. You got to do it. It's time to be phenomenal, guys. U.S. Central Command says over 100 Iranian naval vessels destroyed so far. We are not done. Why not? High Energy, what's up, buddy? I heard Trump wanted to name it Operation. Oh my! I'm not gonna say that. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirms President Trump's meeting with China could be delayed as Operation Epic Fury. Begins third week. Yeah, I mean, they were supposed to be meeting sometime in March, from what I can tell, from what I remember that they said, right? So it's okay, We're not rushing. We're not rushing the operation. They're gonna do whatever they want. So in due time, we're gonna see big moves. That I gotta tell you guys. So excited. Airport nightmares grow as DHS remains unfunded. I'm watching Fox right now, and the Department of Homeland Security still is in a partial shutdown. And if you guys are traveling, if you guys are flying, just know that some airports are really behind, because obviously some people are not getting paid. That is a risk that happens once you work for, the government, especially in DHS, when Democrats are obviously using that as leverage, sadly. Perfecto. Just replying here a little bit. Very good. What's going to happen this month with the Fed rates? It's going to be a hold. It's going to be a pause. You see how the candle is reacting right there? It really wants to fly. It really wants to go ahead and give us something delicious, guys. I'm so ready, bro. I'm so ready. So ready to make money with you guys and just finally have a great time, in crypto. Why not? There you go. What do we have right now? I don't think the president's going to come outside, so somebody has to give me the signal to come inside the White House. I was there, during my birthday in Washington, D.C. What a beautiful place. I want to go back. I just love Washington so much. To me, it's a little small. It's like a small city. It's like a small, you know, just place where you can do so many things, and there's some amazing food, and it's cold, and you can walk around. It's amazing. I do want to go back, but I've never been to New York. I also want to go to New York. I don't know anybody from New York, but hey, you never know. And meet new people there. I've been quietly building my bag. It was on sale. If it drops again, I'll continue building. Nice, man. So 10:45. They should be meeting at the Kennedy Board Center, you know, soon. So it's not gonna be here at the White House. We're gonna have signal all the way to the Kennedy Center. They're gonna give us the signal soon. Where's Ghost? I know, right? Maybe working, who knows? All right. We have, you know, something live right there, so it's gonna come soon, guys. What is this? Justin T. Rowe Price files amendment number 2 for its active crypto ETF, which will track multiple assets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, and Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu? Nah. Shiba Inu? What? Crazy. That's amazing. I mean, that's good. Shiba Inu. Okay. Galaxy Digital's Alex Thorne says Clarity Act must clear committee by the end of April, or its odds of passing in 2026 become extremely low. As Senate floor time is running out fast. Ah, baby. This Clarity Act, guys, this Clarity Act, it really has everyone here holding the line, bro. I mean, this is why and how we're going to actually go to the next level. Aloha, Oscar. What's up, Donnie? Good to see you, bro. We're going to do really well. It's just a matter that we just have to rely on in the government, you know, to pass a bunch of things. And so crypto becomes the norm. Cheaper TJ in the house. What's up, Planets too? Thank you guys for being here. I replace all big pharma pills with cannabis products. Oh boy. Planets, we're going to be putting you on the website this week, bro. Thank you so much for the info. And everyone, you're going to be, once you go to cryptoramos.com, maybe TJ or can put the website there, but we're updating a few more things. We just have the best admins. We have the best community, the best people, guys. Even in the struggle, even in the pain, you guys are still here with us, and we appreciate that. That's why we give you giveaways. That's why we give away money. And that's why we always bring you the latest that you need to know. Simple as that. The best news of all are that this is just the beginning of what's going to end up being one of the greatest, if not the greatest. No. I'm going to stop saying one of the best. No, this is going to be the best bull market that we ever seen in our lifetime. Just has to be hands down. The best bull market. This is when we have Bitcoin destroying $200,000. Okay. This is when we have Ethereum breaking $5, $7, $8, and even quite possibly $10,000 per one Bitcoin. This is going to be the bull market that is going to define crypto as a replacement for a bunch of countries. And at that point, you're going to be like, I should have bought more. I'm going to listen to that comment so many times. It's going to be sickening. And people are, I should have bought more when everybody was telling me to sell. Believe me, guys, it's going to happen. It is going to happen. Now, it's whether you want to take action or not, but the greatest, most historic bull market is building right now. And only those who believe and understand the big picture are going to become not rich, but wealthy, bro. Wealthy. This is just going to be out of this world. And one of the reasons I'm so bullish is because you just have to take a look at the timeline of how things work. You have to take a look at how, the internet and AI and now crypto is just going ahead little by little by little. So that's what I'm working on, Donald J. Trump. Wow, that news conference is taking a while, huh? We all meeting Hawaii. Hey, just on tomahawk steaks? Yes, please. I'm so ready for a tomahawk steak right now. I'm so ready, bro. So it is 11:45 right now. The Kennedy Center event is starting sometime soon. We still don't have Donald J. Trump answering questions yet, so we'll keep you in the know as always. Don't you not trump it up. Larry, what's up, buddy? Welcome. Nice. We got about 1,400 votes right here in the poll. I am feeling, that's the question, and 57% of you bullish. 9% of you guys are bearish, and 33% say nothing yet. I feel you. 40% chance Bitcoin hits $100,000. Call sheet traders. MicroStrategy now owns 761,000 Bitcoin. 761,000 Bitcoin, guys. Can somebody please help me compose myself? What is it? 73,000, 74,000? Well, obviously, not everything at the same price, obviously, right? But if you wanted to buy 700 and whatever thousand right now, which is $73,000, if you wanted to, like, you want to meet Michael Saylor right now at this level, do you have $55 billion by any chance that you can lend me, please? Oscar Ramos is asking for $55 billion. If anybody can send it to my PayPal or like Cash App, please. I'll even give you my cell. Whatever you need, just send it to me, please. Or even just donate it right here on YouTube. Because I want to have 761,000 Bitcoin, please. Thank you so much. Appreciate that a lot. $55 billion. Out of this world. It's just insane, bro. Insane. So much money, bro. So much money. With that money, you can have more than half of XRP's market capitalization. You can buy Tron, or you can buy Solana. You can buy all Solana with that money. The entire Solana project with all the money that they have on Bitcoin. All of those are Bitcoin. It's crazy. I saw a screenshot on crypto Discord that showed 1.3 million XRP. Yeah, of course there's some XRP millionaires, 100%. 100% there's some crypto millionaires. Not only that they're gonna become millionaires, or not only that they have 1 million worth of XRP, but they have millions of XRP coins. Of course they have. It's not me. I'm never going to get to that point, and that's okay. I accept that, right? I accept that, which is okay. Nobody has him. That's crazy. I mean, we're here. I mean, it should transition from the White House to the Kennedy Center. At any time. Bill Gates, there you go. CZ, now richer than Bill Gates. A crypto person, the crypto person, now richer than Bill Gates. So much money, bro. Crazy amount of capital. Oscar, are you somewhere warm? I can hear the birds chirping outside. It's the lie, bro. It's not me. It's in Washington, D.C. I wish, but no. I'm inside my room right here. My office. Like pretty good background sounds, right?
These other countries are benefiting greatly from the United States military taking out the threat of Iran. The rogue Iranian regime has long not just posed a threat to the United States of America, but of course to our Gulf and Arab partners in the region. As you see, I believe Iran has struck more than 300 civilian targets in the Gulf region. If you think about Europe, their ballistic missile capability that the United States military is currently wiping out was a direct and imminent threat to our European allies as well as our bases in the region, which is why President Trump took this action in the first place. So these countries are absolutely benefiting from ensuring that Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. This is something not just the United States, but the entire Western world has agreed with for many, many years. So I think the president is absolutely right to call on these countries to do more, to help the United States to reopen the Strait of Hormuz so that we can stop this terrorist regime from restricting the free flow of energy. And the fact that they are doing so just underscores why President Trump needed to take this action in the first place.
I know the president has had these conversations with some of these countries that he wants to be a part of this coalition. What countries are those?
Well, the president has spoken with many countries throughout the last several days. We're on day 16 of Operation Epic Fury, and the United States military continues to totally decimate the rogue Iranian terrorist regime. We've now hit more than 7,000 targets. We've sunk more than 100 of their naval vessels. We are completely annihilating their navy, and their ballistic missile and drone strikes against the United States are down 95%. So President Trump is the first president in nearly 5 decades to finally have the courage to do what so many American presidents and leaders around this world have longed for, and that's to take out the threat of Iran. So yes, the president is speaking with our allies in Europe and also many of our partners in the Gulf and Arab world to encourage them to step up to do more to open the Strait of Hormuz, and our NATO allies especially need to step up. Look, President Trump has been very, very frank with our friends in NATO for a very long time. He got got them to increase their defense spending up to 5%, and now he's calling on them to do the right thing because, again, the United States of America is leading the way, not just to support and protect our American assets and bases in the Middle East, but also to defend Europe and the Middle East and the rest of the world from the rogue Iranian regime from obtaining a nuclear bomb.
There you have it.
I know the president has had.
There you have it, everybody. And as always, you know, they take a while. They do take their time, you know. Elon Musk recruiting Wall Street bankers, portfolio managers, and traders to train. Ooh, guys, anybody who's a trader, you might get a job here. If you want to work for Elon Musk, now this is your chance. This is your chance. Very good.
I'll come up with a very blunt term for it. Like, how do you get a trucker to use a wallet?
I'm on Capitol Hill more than I would like to admit. And the common refrain that I hear is like, where's the beef? Where are the real world use cases for Main Street? Where are the real world use cases for legacy industries? You have to have a problem. And this cost of capital problem is massive. For, 97% of the trucking companies in the US and Canada are 1 to 5 trucks. They're small businesses. Most of them are paying somewhere in the ballpark of $30,000 to $50,000 a year in financing costs on every truck. So I joke with people like, if you told these carriers that, instead of factoring, if they went and buried their invoices in the ground overnight and came back to dig them up the following morning, that they could save 50 to 90% on their capital costs, they would absolutely do it. The best way I can answer your question is this way. TCS offers a non-exclusive contract. So literally we tell trucking companies, if you're crypto native or if you're not, you can settle one invoice with us on chain. You obviously, we have to do KYC AML and you have to get set up on the platform. But if you don't like faster and cheaper settlement, you can literally walk away. And not a single transportation company that is onboarded with TCS is left.
Nice, guys. More utility. That's the utility that we always are looking for, right? Pretty nice. So far, we're still waiting on that. And Fox is back on. Still talking about Iran and the latest, for sure. Iran foreign minister replying. Iran says the strait is only close to our enemies. So it's open to Iranian, but close to the enemies. We still are waiting for more confirmations and whatever Trump says, of course. The crazed Democrats are not allowing TSA agents to get paid. Oh, there it is. Let me see. There's Fox. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, so it's just happening in just a few more moments. The press is outside the White House waiting. So he's about to. Just a couple more minutes, guys, and he's about to do it. That's why I'm watching Fox. Germany, no. Okay. Good. Nice. Germany and Greece, they're not coming in. Yeah, that's them. All right, well, it seems that AP News is going to give us what we need, so perfect. AP News for the win. We're here basically ready for it. Nice. I don't own any Pepe. I don't think I own Pepe, honestly. I don't think I own Pepe. I'll double check, but I don't think so. All I own is Shiba Inu and Pengu that I remember. Let me see. Oh, that Under's looking sexy today. Let's go. Pump it up, baby. Let me see. That's my Shiba Inu. And... oh! Correction. I do own Pepe. But a little bit. Pepe. That's it. Just a little bit of Pepe. It's, yeah, a few thousands. That's it. Worth of Pepe. Nice. Oh, it's coming in. They're just inside. Perfect. It's coming in now. They just got inside, and we're gonna have a signal in a few short moments now. Coming in anytime now. So I'm sure that they're gonna go live in other different broadcasts. Fox maybe. Fox is not live yet. RSBN should be live. Yeah, they're live. Yep. Okay, I got our RSBN here locked and ready. Pretty good. Nice. Cash out of XRP all in for H-bar. Good for you, bro. Do you? Boom. We're in. We're in, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for waiting. I appreciate that a lot. Good. We have Pam Bondi, the speaker, Mike Johnson. Who else? Who else do we have? I don't recognize anybody else. You guys? I just recognize the speaker and Pam Bondi. So these are the Kennedy Center board members. Love the Bach. I for sure want to go inside and visit the White House. If I go, because when I went to Congress, we went to Congress, and they told us that you need to have a permit from your representative to go into the chambers of Congress. But I wonder, for the White House, who do I need to call just to visit, or maybe schedule something ahead of time? I don't want to go ahead and see that beautiful building. Yeah. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate that a lot. And we have, I'm pretty heavy on XRP, Cardano, and XLM. Moonbacks. Nice, bro. Good for you. Send it. This is going to take a while, and we are ready for that. Again, more copium. Well, thank you for coming in. To those who may dislike us being bullish, but it's okay. You know, welcome to crypto. We can do whatever we want as long as it's good and legal, right? You had a long time to accumulate, and you can still buy under $2 XRP. That's a fact. Beautiful. Let's see. We have, and now they have breaking news. Let's see. Welcome to all the new members. So happy to see you guys. We appreciate that. Nice. There you go. Orbs just went live right now. Perfect. So I got a backup just in case. Nice. Oh, and there it is. The White House is loud now. Okay. Coming in soon, guys. Donald J. Trump speaking about Iran, taking a bunch of questions. And then after that, he's going to go and talk about this event. I got one powerful video for later today. And yeah, more updates for all of you guys as you're coming in and saying, pump it up. A good day to pump it up, guys. 100%. If you want to get into the White House, you got to call Benjamin. Oh, Mike. I knew it. I knew Jay. Classic Jay. I was like, oh, he has the answer. Let me. Oh, can't believe. You see, guys, I trust you, you know? Music the pump. Pump it up 100%. Hmm. Hmm. Perfect. Oscar, any thoughts on gas? It should be coming down any, sooner or later. Sooner than later. I mean, everybody is looking for cheaper gas prices as soon as Trump gets some closure, in Iran. It should drop like a rock, he said. So, yep, people are ready for that. It was 75 yesterday, and today it's going down 20 since snowing in East Tennessee. What's up, High Energy? Who do they have playing the music? I know, right? I don't want any copyright issues. That's why I muted. But there's a lot of people there, so the president's gonna have a good one. Once he's sitting down, he opens up for more questions and Q&A. So yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna be waiting for him to go raw into his persona. Nice. Let me take a look at Pepe was doing excellent just a couple minutes ago, and look at that nasty candles. Trump news conference amid Iran conflict. Yeah, Fox is back on, and yep, everybody's ready. 12 p.m. right now Eastern, so 11 a.m. right now in Central. Yep, 11:01. Very good. 11:01. Very good. Strong move to the upside. Let's go. Hmm. Brett is also doing Ethereum right now. Went to $2,300 Ethereum. That's really nice. We want to see $2,300 Ethereum, I mean, and even higher. So Ondo 27 went to 28 just earlier today. So good. They all check into their, their phones. I can already tell. Phone time before the president speaks. Big shout out to my friend Jesus Martinez. I'm talking to him on Telegram. Great guy. Good old elevator music, I know, right? What is this forum about? Nothing Burger. I think you could say that we're here obviously because we want to get to that press conference. And after that, the Kennedy Center board members, they're going to talk about a bunch of things about the Kennedy Center from what I can tell. But we're here for the news conference. But as always, Trump takes a while, it takes a long time to come and do that. He's the president of the United States. I mean, I understand, right? I understand. But yeah, he's coming up. And once he finishes with that press conference, I think I'm going to call it quits. But yeah, I want to hear, the latest of what's happening. A bunch of the questions. And that music is going to put me to sleep so fast. That's why I'm muting it too. Right after this, we're going to eat like kings right now. We're going to eat so much right now. I'm so ready. You get bored. Look at Deutschland Mars meme coin. That one, bro. I remember that one so much. One of those that went crazy high. Deutschland Mars. Woo. Yep. Brings back memories. Brings back memories. Also, I'm going to be getting my paycheck soon. As a minor paycheck. Yay. I'm excited, bro. Just one more hour and we get that money. Good stuff. Oscar request for Brad get put off bets. I know, right? Once we start pumping like for reals, I'm gonna share with you guys my playlist. Yes, I do have it. I do have it ready for everybody. crazy how, I mean, the Speaker of the House can just be chilling right there with the Attorney General. It's like two of the most important positions in the entire government. I mean, just chilling there, just sitting and relaxing, and just knowing that they're not the most important, right, in that room. They're just relaxing there, casually, right? That's how much the position of President of the United States means. Insane. Oscar, is the blue chip ETF still going to happen? There's a lot of ETFs that are going to happen, and some that have already happened. So I think basket of ETFs are going to come in more force in due time, for sure. Yeah. Nice. Ooh, what do we have? Oh, I thought it was time. Come on, President Trump. Anthony, what's up, buddy? You put 1,000 in ASA. Very good, bro. Nice. Do your research. I have a little bit over more than that, and we're getting some pretty nice paychecks every day so far. Very happy, excited, and grateful for the opportunity, because I think I need a few more days, a few more weeks or so, to go back to my break-even position. So I can, I'm pretty happy, we're getting closer and closer. I gotta tell you, this one is taking a long time. Freaking Trump. Classic Donald J. Trump. What do we have here? Gas prices in the U.S. have moved up 3.72 a gallon, the highest level since October 2023. I can tell. I see. Hashtags just filed an 8K, essentially a breaking news alert to the SEC, announcing they cut their management fee in half. It now costs just 0.25% to get diversified exposure to XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Chainlink, and Stellar. Not bad. Airline CEOs, enough of the Schumer DHS shutdown. Airlines for America, and we have Alaska Air, American Airlines, Atlas, JetBlue, FedEx, Delta, Southwest, United. All the airlines are saying, members of Congress, just open up because we are dying here. Crazy stuff. Ooh. I'd like to see some price discovery for XRP. Nice. Our backs are going to pump harder than ever. Imagine they're going to pump so hard. You're going to ask Oscar to stop pumping their backs. Oh. Trump issue Susie Wiles has early stage breast cancer. Cancer prognosis is excellent. Okay. I'm just watching Fox right now. I'm just could be a reason why he's a little late. I mean, maybe. I mean, let me take a look at Truth Social. Yeah, here it is. Just post. Yeah. So I think this is the reason why he's still not speaking. That might be a reason why. He's changing his type. Wow. Oscar, what are your thoughts on gas line assist supply? I have no idea about that, bro. Not an expert on that, or not even close to that. 111 and 150 XRPs grind up. Hope all have patience. I know 100%. During the good, here during the bad. Bind during the good, bind during the bad. Cali Pokemon in the house. What's up, buddy? Welcome. Nice. 100%. Oh, there she is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
We're live.
Do we agree? Agreed. Right, Mr. Kraft? No place like the White House. Thank you very much for being. So, thank you very much for being here. We have a wonderful group of very, very smart, talented patriots at this table. Our powerful military campaign to end the threats posed by the Iranian regime continued in full force over the past few days. They have been literally obliterated. The Air Force is gone. The Navy is gone. Many, many ships have been sunk. They're warfighting ships, but I guess they didn't know how to use them. And anti-aircraft is decimated. Their radar is gone, and their leaders are gone. Other than that, they're doing quite well. They've been a terror for 47 years. And now I guess the world, through the United States, with the help of Israel, is doing what should have been done many years ago. Should have been done many years ago. Since the beginning of the conflict, we've struck more than 7,000 targets across Iran, and these have been mostly commercial and military targets. We've achieved a 90% reduction in their ballistic missile launches and a 95% reduction in drone attacks. The missiles are trickling in now at very low levels because they don't have too many missiles left. We've also attacked the manufacturing plants, where the places where they manufacture the missiles and the drones, and that's going on today. We just hit 3 of them today. It's getting very hard for them to manufacture. More than 100 Iranian naval vessels have been sunk or destroyed over the last week and a half. That has to be some kind of a record. Additional strikes continue to launch from all directions every single hour. And as you know, we attacked Karg Island and knocked it literally, destroyed everything on the island except for the area where the oil is. I call it the pipes. We left the pipes. We didn't want to do that, but we will do that. We can do that on 5 minutes' notice. It'll be over. But for purposes of someday rebuilding that country, I guess we did the right thing. But it may not stay that way. Just one simple word and the pipes will be gone too, but it'll take a long time to rebuild that. We are aggressively dismantling Iran's defense industrial base, and ability to rebuild its missiles and drone capability is getting down to close to zero. And we're hammering their capacity to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Ramos, with more than 30 mine-laying ships destroyed. We hit, to the best of our knowledge, all of their mine-laying ships. Now they can put them on other types of ships, I guess, and drop them in. But we don't know that any have even been dropped in. We're not sure that any have been. That's a big negative for them if they do it. It's a form of suicide. But we don't know that they have dropped any in. But we've hit all 30 of their ships and destroyed them. They're all at the bottom of the sea. We strongly encourage other nations whose economies depend on the Strait far more than ours. You know, we get less than 1% of our oil from the Strait, and some countries get much more. Japan gets 95%. China gets 90%. Many of the Europeans get quite a bit. South Korea gets 35%. So we want them to come and help us with the Strait. We have it in very good shape. The countries, I said, we've already taken care of Iran, but now, because of the fact that literally a single terrorist can put something in the water or shoot something or shoot a missile, a small missile, and it's fairly close range because it is a tight area, and which is one of the reasons they've always used that as a weapon. Iran has always used that as an economic weapon, and it's not going to be able to be used very long. Numerous countries have told me they're on the way. Some are very enthusiastic about it, and some aren't. Some are countries that we've helped for many, many years. We've protected them from horrible outside sources, and they weren't that enthusiastic. And the level of enthusiasm, it matters to me. We have some countries where we have 45,000 soldiers, great soldiers, protecting them from harm's way. And we have done a great job. And when we want to know, do you have any minesweepers? Well, would rather not get involved, sir. I said, for 40 years we're protecting you, and you don't want to get involved in something that is very minor. Very few shots going to be taken because they don't have many shots left. But they said, we'd rather not get involved. I just want the fake news media and everybody else to remember that was said, because I've been a big critic of all of the protecting of countries, because I know that we'll protect them. And if we ever needed help, they won't be there for us. I've just known that for a long period of time, just like I knew about the Strait, that it would be a weapon, which I predicted a long time ago. Predicted all of this stuff. You guys were very generous in that. I predicted all of it. I predicted Osama bin Laden would knock out the World Trade Center. I made that prediction a year before he did it. I said, you better get him. He's a bad guy. I watched him be interviewed one time, and I said, that's a bad guy. You better get him. 1 year before, exactly. I wrote it in a book. You can even check. About a year before the World Trade Center then came down, President Clinton actually had a shot at him, and he didn't take it. Unfortunately, I'm not blaming him for that, but he didn't take it. And he ended up knocking down the World Trade Center, but I predicted that too. I predicted a lot of things. We strongly encourage other nations whose economies depend on the Strait for blood. I mean, you know, these people literally need it. 95% of their energy or their oil comes out of the Strait, and they should be in here very happily helping us. And it's incredible. We have such great, we're number one in oil by double now. We drill, baby, drill. We're double any other nation, and it's going to be soon triple any other nation. And that doesn't include Venezuela, who's been great. By the way, the relationship with Venezuela has been fantastic. Millions, literally millions of barrels of oil are being taken out, and it's been a great help, and it's been to their great benefit. The president has done a really good job. We get along with him really well, but we've taken out millions of barrels of oil and brought to Houston and other places for to the refineries. We have refineries set up specifically for that, and it's been a great relationship, and more and more is happening. It's a tremendous oil source, and we're getting we're stepping it up very rapidly. The big companies are going in, and they will actually numbers in a pretty short period of time, numbers that they've never been able to do. We'll be doing. There's a lot of oil under that land. We strongly encourage the other nations to get involved with us and get involved quickly and with great enthusiasm. I have that from a number of them, and I'd like to say their names, but frankly, I don't know if they would want me to or not, because maybe they don't want to be targeted. But I say, wouldn't matter if you're targeted or not, because this is a paper tiger that we're dealing with now. It wasn't a paper tiger 2 weeks ago. It's a paper tiger now. So now we're going to get down to the reason. We'll take a couple of questions in a moment, but we're going to get down to the reason we're here today. Actually, this was set up a long time ago. It's the Trump Kennedy Center. Over the past year, we've made incredible strides to restore the true purpose and prestige of this revered institution. Together, we're going to ensure it remains the finest performing arts facility of its kind anywhere in the world. And I don't know that it ever really reached that stage, but it will over a period of time. We're rebuilding it. It's in very, very bad condition. It's been it's been somewhat of a disaster, to be honest with you. It's been let go to hell. That's what they've done. They did a poor job. They spent money in the wrong places. They built some theaters underneath that nobody uses, little ones, tiny theaters that cost $300 million. And the money was spent incorrectly, wrong. We're dealing with some networks on the possibility of renting those little theaters. Nobody's going to use them. They want the big halls. The halls are going to be incredible. They're in bad shape, but when they're completed, the bones are potentially something that could be unbelievable. So I want to, before we begin, I want to thank Rick Grinnell. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. He's been unbelievable. He was the ambassador, as you know, to Germany. There was no happier woman in the world than Angela Merkel. Angela. She called me, thank you, sir, thank you. Although she liked Rick a lot, there was nobody happier that he was no longer going to be the ambassador to Germany. He was difficult for them. He was not your typical ambassador. He was the opposite. He would do what was best for the United States, not for Germany. And I want to tell you, he did a great job. So good that I put him in charge of a thing called intelligence. And something he didn't really want to do, but he did it, and he did it incredibly well. There were a lot of leakers. He found out the leakers. And when he didn't find out who the leaker was in a certain area, he fired everybody. And he went into one room where there was leaks coming out. These are long-term problems that these various places have had. And he said, who's the one that leaked this? And they wouldn't admit it, so he fired the whole room. And he did a good job. I'll tell you, he was very good. And during this transition period, I asked Rick if he would run it, because we wanted to see. And if you remember when we first took it over, I didn't do it with enthusiasm. I did it because somebody had to do it, had to turn it around, because it was failing. It would have closed, and physically it would have almost fallen down. It was in very bad shape. The steel columns outside, as an example, were meant to be covered. You know, exposed steel is unusual to have in building. What I do best in life is build. I build buildings really well and under budget and ahead of schedule. That's what I do, unlike the Fed building, which is going to cost billions of dollars. It may never open. I mean, right now, we have a wonderful Kevin, a wonderful new head of the Fed coming in. I don't know if he'll ever be able to occupy this complex that was destroyed by Jerome Too Late Powell. I call him too late because he's always too late with interest. Should cut interest rates. He should cut them right now. They should have a special meeting. What's a better time to cut interest rates than now? A third grade student would know that. But
too late, Powell.
That's a terrible thing. But what I do is build. I build great stuff. And what we're going to do is, right outside. In fact, if you look behind me, see the nice gold curtains? If you want to look into a nice foundation and you want to see a lot of work, very deep, very, very deep for specific reasons, we have a magnificent ballroom being built, because this is the biggest room, and it holds like 98 people for dinner. But behind me, you're going to have a ballroom that this building and the people occupying it, in particular, every president for 150 years, has clamored for a ballroom, a large, beautiful room. This is a cocktail room, and this whole floor will end up being a cocktail room for the cocktail area or pre-area for the ballroom before dinners. So we'll have heads of state. We can't even do a heads of state dinner. Usually what they do is they would do them on the lawn with a tent. But when it rains, the lawn is very low. And you know the land in Washington. It was built on swampy, wet land. And when it rains and you have the king of Saudi Arabia, we have, as an example, the king of the UK, I would say king of England, who's a great guy. He's coming in very soon. And when it rains, you know what happened? The rain would go over their feet. It would be about 4 or 5 inches over their shoes. This was not good. And it rained a lot. So we're building, finally, because I do that. And by the way, no taxpayer money. I want to put that, zero. It's on time, on budget. It'll be under budget. We're having it under budget, other than we've upgraded it in terms of the marbles we're using. We're using onyx and stones that are incredible. But it'll be something really spectacular. I'm looking at Mr. Steve Wynn, who's over there. He built a spectacular building, and he knows Trump builds a spectacular building. I build better buildings than him. I don't care what he said. But Steve is over here, and he really, with his incredible wife, Andrea. And thank you both for being here. Andrea's on the board, and Steve is so in love with his wife, he asked whether or not he could come. And I can say the same thing for the great Bob Kraft. He's got a wife that's so wonderful. He said, do you think I could come? She didn't have to accept that, She could have said no. But Bob said, I would like to come. So, Bob, we will not let you vote, although his vote would be a good vote. He will vote for the proper thing. But it's good to have you both here. These are two great couples that know a lot about the things I'm talking about, like fixing whether it's building a stadium or building a building, we know they know how to do it. So thank you. Thank you, Steve, very much. But we've made incredible strides over the past year. If you remember, I said I want to run it for a year just to see, because the place is falling down. It's horrible. Air conditioning, heating is going to be ripped out in its entirety, and it needs new. It's old. It's how many years is it, Rick? What's the total? 50, almost, yeah, over 50. And we have 50-year-old air conditioning, more than that actually, and it's in bad shape. Everything's in bad shape. It's got to be redone. So I said, let's run it for a year just to see how it works. It's better than, you can't just go into something and try and figure it out. And we figured it out over the year. And you have to close it, putting new marbles in, beautiful, beautiful marbles. When you do marbles, you can't have people walking over the marble every night as it's drying and setting and going to a play. So we thought the best way, what I know best in the world is construction. The best way to do it is close it, do it properly, and reopen it, have a grand reopening. And when it's finished, it's going to be far better than it was when it was originally built. When it was originally built, it was good. It has one thing that's very good. It has great sound. I think there's a lot of luck in sound. You have some of the big opera houses. I don't want to get involved with saying which one, but in New York, as an example, where the acoustics were never good, and they've ripped it apart 4 times and rebuilt it, and it was never good. The good thing about the Kennedy Center, the acoustics are good, and they'll only be enhanced based on what we're doing. A lot of it has to do with the stones and the stones you use, the marbles you use, etc. Over the past year, we've made incredible strides to restore the true purpose and prestige that this building will soon gain, I think, at a higher level than it had before. Together, we're going to ensure it remains the finest and will become the finest performing arts facility anywhere in the world. It's got the location, and it will have the building. It's got good bones. It's got good structure. Again, they wanted to originally cover the exposed steel. It was painted a cheap gold, and we turned it into a very expensively painted white, very heavy coat of very powerful white paint meant for steel, exposed steel. A very different kind of paint, but it's almost like putting a stone over the top of it. And the color is white, shiny white, and it looks, a lot of people have commented, it looks so much better. Before they had the steel painted gold, and the gold was very cheap. There's actually never been a paint that's made that will look like gold. Steve will tell you that. You either gold leaf it or use real gold bullion, or you use a different color, Steve. Nobody's ever been able to make a gold paint that looks real. A little minor thing for the media. I'm sure you're thrilled with hearing that. But there's never been a paint. I said, someday I'm going to discover a paint where you don't have to actually use gold leaf. Gold leaf is a very, very big and expensive process, but it's a beautiful thing, but not when you use paint. So we got rid of the gold columns, which looked always terrible. They looked cheap and they looked fake. Very much like the media, actually. And we took the columns and we painted them white. Before we painted them, Matt, very importantly, we structuralized them. We replaced bad steel that was very badly rusting. I mean, these are columns that are holding up a building. And we had to replace areas of columns that were actually rusted out because it was in very bad shape. It's not even describable how bad this building was, both inside and out. I want to thank Rick Grinnell, but you really did a great job, Rick, on this, and we appreciate it. I'm looking for your next venture, because he really was, there was a story he got fired. He didn't get fired. He was here for a short period of time, for a year, figuring it out with Matt and everybody else. And Matt now is going to take over, and he's a pro at construction, great at construction. And I think Matt would like to run the facility too. He's fallen in love with it. And I think he'd do a good job. But if I don't think he will do a good job, I'll say, Matt, you're fired. I'm getting somebody else. So You're under no pressure, man, okay? It's like Bob Kraft. If a football player doesn't perform well, typically you will fire him immediately, Bob. Do you ever let them stay around for 4 or 5 years if they're bad? Not too many times, right? So, anyway, I learned from you. So I want to thank also Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's been fantastic. I don't know, is Pam here someplace? Oh, hello, Pam. Good. She's been great. And the Speaker of the House, he's got the easiest job of anybody in government. He's got a majority of 2. I don't like to say 1 because it varies, but between 1, 2, and 3. And I think you're the only man that's ever lived that's able to be very happy about it. In fact, when we get up to 3, you know, every once in a while we get up to 3. Actually, for a period of time, we had it up to 4, and then we had a death. And death is very bad when you're the Speaker and you have a majority of 2 or 3. But we had a death, and then we had another death, and we had some things, and it's. But we're looking very strong. We had one man who was very ill. It looked like he wasn't going to make it. I don't know. I won't mention his name. Should I? Do other people know his name? Do you want to mention it? He'll be proud. Go ahead. Tell him the story.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. President. Congressman Neil Dunn of Florida had some real health challenges, and it was very serious, and had a pretty grim diagnosis. And I mentioned it to the president, and I said, Congressman Dunn is a real champion and a patriot because he's still coming to work. And if others got this diagnosis, they would be apt to go home and retire. And
what was the diagnosis?
It was, I think it was a terminal diagnosis.
He would be dead by June.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay. That's it was grim. That's what I was going to say. I don't think
with a heart problem, by the way. This was a heart problem.
Right. So the long story short, the president called him to encourage him and thank him, and they had a conversation, and the president mentioned in the course of the conversation, you know how to get my doctors involved, and they did, and within a number of hours, they took him to Walter Reed, emergency surgery. The man has a new lease on life. He acts like he's 30 years younger, and he walked into the conference meeting, and we thought we'd seen a ghost. And I spoke with him over the weekend, and he's encouraged and thankful, and he thanks the president for his leadership and intervention, and thank you. Thank you.
He actually called Mike. Mike called me and he said, "Sir, we're up by 3, but we're going to lose 1 by June." I said, "Who?" Neil Dunn. He's a great congressman. Incredible. He called to say that he was terminal, really bad heart. There's nothing they can do. I said, "That's bad." Number 1, it was bad because I liked him. Number 2, it was bad because I needed his vote. But he really said, "Mike, I'm going to last this out for the president and you, and however long I live," I mean, it looks like June is the time, but however long I live, I'm going to be voting for you. I mean, how many people are going to say that? Most of them are going to say, "Mike, I'm retiring immediately. That's the end."
He's an extraordinary man.
But he didn't do that. It was really impressive. And then I realized I have doctors in the White House. The White House doctors are incredible. And they've helped me with other people. They're helping me with people right now. People that are very sick are like they're miracle workers. And I said, I have to call them. And I called the 2 doctors. They're both great. And they immediately went over to see the congressman. And he was on the operating table like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
And it was a long operation. They gave him more stents and more everything that you could have. I think he's got everything that you could possibly have. And they called up. They said, "Sir, I think he'll be fine." I said, "You got to be kidding." He said, "I think he'll be fine." And Mike was telling me the story that the other day he came into a meeting for the first time in a long while. Go ahead.
Well, it was incredible. I mean, he has a new lease on life. He has more energy than a man half his age, and very encouraged and encouraged all of us. So, again, a testament to great leadership. And he's, my hat's off to Neil Dunn and his beautiful wife and family. He's an extraordinary individual.
And just, because I don't want to have a terrible story about this, I did it for him first and for the vote second. But it was a close second, actually. But I did it for the vote second. All right? I want to also introduce Susie Wiles, who's fantastic. She's our chief of staff. And she's an amazing person, an amazing fighter. And she announced a minor difficulty, which will be in good shape. Good shape he'll be around for a long time. She has She had a diagnosis. You probably saw it. And she's going to take care of it immediately as opposed to waiting. She said, let's do it now. I said, do it immediately. Because with that particular ailment, the faster the better. That's the only thing I know about it. The faster the better. She's going to do it immediately. So she just started, actually. And she's going to be in great shape. The prognosis there is excellent, beyond excellent. So,
thank you, sir.
But who needs it, right?
That's right.
Who needs it? So before we took over, just a year ago, the legendary, this wonderful place was on the verge of, literally on the verge of collapse, both from a financial standpoint, maybe more from a financial standpoint, but also from a physical standpoint. Necessary maintenance has been ignored. The programming was very woke and out of touch with reality. And we had an orchestra that lost like $18 million a year, and they subsidized it every year. So what kind of an orchestra loses 18? And I'm being nice when I say 18, it was much more. And I started looking at the programming. They had tremendous union difficulties, like 19 different unions, and driving everybody crazy. And I think the unions are going to be great. I've always gotten along with unions. As you know, I got great union support. But you had 19 unions. Every time somebody wanted to put on a play, they had to deal with 19 different groups of people. And it's they say it was like Broadway, but worse. And you don't get worse than Broadway when it comes to the unions. I've watched that for many years. The programming was terrible. And they had a budget deficit of about $26 million minimum. Owed a lot of money. We're out borrowing money, which is a lot of people don't understand. So under the leadership of this exceptionally talented and rich board, it's a very rich board. Not everybody, but most of you are loaded. Ike Perlmutter's got so much money. Look at Ike Perlmutter. He ended up being the largest owner of Disney. Started with, was it $100 or less? It was a little less, Ike, right? He didn't speak English, and he became the largest owner of Disney, right? But then they went woke and he sold the stock. He didn't like Mickey Mouse being woke, right, Ike? But he's one of the most brilliant business people. Thank you, Ike. It's great. And Lori, thank you very much for being here. So I think it's Lori that's on the board, though, right, Lori? What's with these husbands? All the husbands are traveling. I think it's the White House. I got all the husbands with the wives. That's never happened. Boy, oh boy, what great relationships. My wife is going to have to speak to me. This is pretty good. The biggest guys in the country travel with their wives to come to a meeting. But it has something to do with the White House, right, Ike? Right? You don't want to see me. You want to see the White House because it's a special building. But thank you. And congratulations on an amazing career. Most people don't know Ike Perlmutter. Isidore Perlmutter. And started with nothing and built a vast fortune just by deal after deal. Did you ever have a bad deal, Ike? Which was that? Don't tell. See how honest he is? Most people would say no. He says one. And it couldn't have been very bad. Great to have you. So under the leadership of this board, which is, as you see, incredible, we're achieving a very dramatic and quick turnaround. We got rid of all of the DEI. Some of the news media loves DEI, but we got rid of it. Maybe you're right. Brought back patriotic and family-friendly programming, and last year we raised over $130 million to keep this place going. Otherwise, it would have been closed. The building, let's call it the Kennedy Center from that time, was losing so much money it could not have stayed alive if we didn't come in as a group of people and a lot of wealthy people that made a lot of contributions. So with the Trump Kennedy Center honors alone, we raised this year a record $23 million, which was double what they had ever done before, $23 million. There's still much to do. The previous management left us a facility in very bad condition. Abysmal is the word, and everything from busting pipes and leaks to serious electrical and structural problems. And some of it we fixed, but most of it we're saving for during the construction period because we'll do a much better job of it that way. Major renovations are required to keep the facility functional. and that'll start right after July 4th. We're going to have a little bit of a celebration, not a big deal, but a little bit of a celebration on July 4th. We'll have a little party, and then after that we close or we start construction. We're fully financed. As I announced in February, after a one-year review based on input from highly respected experts and subject to board approval today, we determined, it's a little late for the board because we've already announced it, but these are minor details, but I think everybody agrees. But subject to board approval, we determined that the fastest way to bring the Trump Kennedy Center to the highest level of success, beauty, and grandeur is to cease the entertainment operations for a 2-year period of time as we complete high-quality, really high-quality construction. We've already purchased seating, as an example. We've already purchased a lot of the marbles and some of the things that are hard to get. Getting quality marble is very hard. It takes a long time. It comes from areas where it takes a long time to mine, and we're getting some of the best things you can. The marble is going to be incredible. The seats that we have, the seating is the highest level. Everything is the highest level. So this temporary closure will enable us to complete the work much faster and much higher quality. As an example, it's hard to show Shakespeare when you don't have any seats. As the seats are being changed, it's not exactly a great experience for people. So the right way to do it is just close it and fix it and open it. We'll begin right after, as I said, July 4th celebration. And thanks to the great, big, beautiful bill, we are fully funded, ready to go. And we have tremendous amounts of money coming in from some people around the table, but also from people that are not here, but that have made very generous contributions toward the Trump Kennedy Center. People that have never given to it before and would never have given it except I asked them to give. So, Rick, I thank you very much for the job that you've done, and I'm delighted that you really are. You did a great job. It was a little rough with a couple of the people, but that's okay. They've survived. Some of the artists, they took a pounding from Rick. It's almost like this guy right over here, Anthony. He knows what it is to pound people. Right, Ike? Anthony knows. Anthony's another great. You're not on the board either, Anthony. You're here with your wife? Oh, what's going on here? The most successful people, they're all here with their wives. I'm looking around. Wow, that's impressive. Anthony's another one. He started off with one truck. He had one truck 45 years ago. He ended up with 4,000 trucks, and he sold his company for billions of dollars. And you're here, Anthony? He's a member of one of my clubs, and all he has is cash. He said, I have a big problem, sir. What? I don't know how to invest my cash. Most people have a problem. They don't have any cash, right? Anyway, thank you, Anthony. You're the greatest. So all of these people have done so much, and they've done so much to help. And, Matt, I'm here to a certain extent to wish you good luck with everything and to introduce you to the board. Many of the board know because Matt's been running a lot of the initial construction and planning, and going to be assuming the role of Chief Operating Officer and Executive Director, where he'll lead a construction crew for a big crew, by the way, because it needs a lot of work, for the next 2 years in preparation for the grand reopening. And I think it's going to be something that's going to be very, very special. We're doing a lot of special things. We have a lot of things happening. We have at the front of the White House on June 14th, you probably read, UFC is going to be here. Dana White, the great Dana White, he's building literally a stadium, a 5,000-seat arena right outside the front door of the White House. And they're going to have about 100,000 people in the park right across the street, where he's building, I believe, 8 massive screens for people to watch, all free, for people to watch. It's June 14th, happens to be my birthday, and that was only by happenstance. It was not planned that way, but it's a Sunday night, which they never did. Sunday night's super prime time. It's going to be broadcast on CBS, which is the Ellison family, 2 great people. It's a great family. And it's going to be a tremendous event. And we have Roger Penske who's going to have IndyCar here. We're going to have a race around the Capitol. That's going to be in August. So we have that. And we have a tremendous number of things. We have the Olympics, we have the World Cup, and we have the 250. And as you know, I was responsible for getting the Olympics. Actually, Bob Kraft helped me. And he helped me with the World Cup, too. You were very good. Who could be better, right? But he helped with the Olympics and the World Cup. But we have the Olympics coming. I was responsible for that, right, Bob? We have the World Cup coming right now, and I was responsible for that. Then we had a rigged election, and because of that, I was always very upset. When I got the Olympics, I said I won't be president because it was last term if I went by the normal progression. And then I said, well, let's see what happens. And then they rigged the election, and I said, let's do it again, and we won in a landslide. And I came back and I ended up with the Olympics and the World Cup. Somebody said, did you do that on purpose? So I claimed the Olympics and I claimed the World Cup because I did get both. And then I tried to claim 250-year celebration. I said, I got that. They said, no, you didn't. That one you didn't get. They're giving me no credit for that one, Mr. Speaker. I couldn't. So I gave up on that one quickly. That wasn't working. It wasn't working. But I just want to thank everybody. This board has been incredible, and it's really nice. What we're going to do is we could take a few questions from the press, and then after that we'll have our meeting, and we have a little lunch for the board. So we'll have a little bit of a lunch, and it's an honor to have you all here. It's so many of you, Jimmy, so many of you are friends. It's a great honor to have you here, and we're going to do a great job with the Trump Kennedy Center. Okay, yes, please, CNN. Hey.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Questions.
I'm not CNN, I'm Daily Wire, but thank you for the question. Numerous countries have told me they are on their way. Can you give us a hint what they are, what that entails, how soon they might be there?
You mean who are the countries?
Yes, sir.
I'd rather not say yet, but we'll be announcing Marco Rubio and the various people that are doing that will be announcing. And I have to tell you, we have some that are really enthusiastic. They're coming already. They've already started to get there. It takes a little while to get there. It's like, in some cases, you have to travel an ocean. So it doesn't go that fast, but it'll go fast. And we have some that are fairly local that are doing it. But we'll give you a list. Some are very enthusiastic, and some are less than enthusiastic. And I assume some will not do it. I think we have one or two that will not do it that we've been protecting for about 40 years at, tens of billions of dollars, Mr. Speaker. So I'll be reporting that to you in the House and the Senate, and I'll say, why are we protecting countries that don't protect us? And I've always felt that was a weakness of NATO. We were going to protect them, but I always said, when in need, they won't protect us. Now, this isn't need. Need would be one of the big boys. But I will say that we built the greatest military in the world, and we protect people. And if we need their mine boats, or if we need anything, any piece of apparatus that they may have because of a situation that they have, they should be jumping to help us, because we've helped them for years stay out of wars. Yeah, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Can you tell us if you have spoken with French President Macron about the coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz? Have you been speaking with the French President?
What does that mean?
Have you been speaking with the French President Macron about the coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I have spoken to him. He's been, on a scale of 0 to 10, I'd say he's been an 8. Not perfect, but it's France. We don't expect perfect.
Are you confident that France will help with the reopening of Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I think he's going to help. I mean, I'll let you know. I spoke to him yesterday. I don't do a hard sell on them because my attitude is we don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them. But it's interesting. I'm almost doing it in some cases, not because we need them, but because I want to find out how they react. Because I've been saying for years that if we ever did need them, they won't be there. Not all of them, but they won't be there. I was very surprised with the United Kingdom, because the United Kingdom, 2 weeks ago, I said, why don't you send some ships over? And he really didn't want to do it. I said, you don't want to do it. We've been with you. You're our oldest ally. And we spend a lot of money on, NATO and all of these things to protect you. I mean, we're protecting them. We're working with them on Ukraine. Ukraine's thousands of miles away, separated by a vast ocean. We don't have to do that, but we did it. Well, Biden did it. I mean, I have to be honest with you. Biden got taken to the cleaners. But we worked with them in Ukraine. We don't need to work with them in Ukraine. And then they tell us that we have a mine chip around, and they don't want to do it. I think it's terrible. No, I was very surprised. I told him, we requested 2 aircraft carriers, which they had, and he didn't really want to do it. And then right after the war essentially ended, meaning they were obliterated, he said, I would like to send the aircraft carriers. I said, I don't need them after the war has ended and won. I need it before the war. So I was very upset not upset, I was not happy with the UK. I think they'll be involved, yeah, maybe. But they should be involved enthusiastically. We've been protecting these countries for years with NATO, because NATO is us. You can ask Putin. Putin fears us. He has no fear of Europe whatsoever. He fears the United States of America and the military that was built by me in the first term. Yeah.
President, you mentioned the significant amount of oil that China derives from the Middle East. What is the status of your conversation with President Xi in terms of getting China to cooperate, in terms of making the Strait of Hormuz safe for those oil tankers?
Yeah, so China is a great example. They get 91% of their oil from the Hormuz Straits, which we protected for years. And it always bothered me that we have these countries. Japan gets 95% of its from the Straits, the Hormuz Straits. And it always bothered me that we're protecting and we don't need them. We didn't need them before we started dig we must. Dig me must, that's the Trump policy of lots of oil. And we didn't use them very much. It used to be at 10%. Now it's at almost 0. We don't need, we don't need oil. We have all the oil we need for ourselves. It's one of the great assets that we have. We have more than double what anybody else in terms of oil production. We're at more than double any other country. So we don't need it, but we did it. It's almost, you could say we did it out of habit, which is not a good thing to do. But we did it because we have some good allies there. We have some great Middle Eastern countries there, Israel there. So we did it for a lot of reasons. But it always amazed me that we did it. We never asked for reimbursement. And it was really there to serve other countries, not us. And by the way, we have the Sugar King. The same story. Look at that. Alfie von Hool. Alfie, thank you both very much. Huh? Pepe. That's Pepe, yeah. Pepe. Hi, Pepe. How are you? How are you? Is Alfie in the backstage? Huh? Is he sitting back there waiting for you? No? You doing all right? Pepe is a great friend of all of ours, I think, in the room. Tremendous. And we appreciate you being here. Great to have you. Thank you.
Mr. President, honored.
That's great. Both of you. Thank you very much. So go ahead, please.
Mr. President, you've said that Iran does want to make a deal. Now, into the 3rd week of this bombing campaign, what would that deal look like? What are the ask that you're making of the government?
They want to make a deal. They're talking to our people. I don't know if they say that to you. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Don't forget, they are a country that for years, I didn't know this until recently, they're a country based on disinformation. And now they're using disinformation plus AI. And that's a terrible situation. That's a terrible situation. They showed all sorts of things happening in the last 2 weeks that never happened. Between their kamikaze boats that don't exist, between blowing up the aircraft carrier, one of the great ships in the world, the Abraham Lincoln, on fire. They showed it on fire. I called the general. I said, General, what's with the Abraham Lincoln? It looks like it's burning down. No, it's not burning down. Not a bullet was ever fired at it, sir. They know better. I said, this is my first glimpse of AI and what they've done with it. They showed buildings in Tel Aviv burning to the ground, high-rises burning. They showed buildings in Qatar. They showed buildings in Saudi Arabia burning, and they weren't burning. They weren't hit. It was all AI-based. Terrible. It's terrible. And that's their only, I think that's the only thing they do well. They're negotiating, and we always talk. You know, somebody said, well, would you talk? Why would you even talk to them? I talk to everybody because sometimes good things come out of it. But I don't know if they're ready yet. They're taking a pounding. I don't know if they're ready yet. And we don't even know their leaders. Look, all of their leaders are dead, as far as we know, but they're all dead. We don't know who we're dealing with. We knocked out the first group. Then the second group met, 88 met to pick the leader because the first group was all dead. And the second group got knocked out. They're all dead. Then a third group met. I would think they're a little nervous about meeting. I don't know if they're nervous. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're crazy. If they're not nervous, then they're crazy. But we met with the next group, but we don't know who their leader is. We have people wanting to negotiate. We have no idea who they are. Yeah, please, Peter.
Thanks, President Trump. What are your advisors telling you about the Ayatollah's son, the new supreme leader? What are they telling you about him?
Well, it's not only them, it's you people. I mean, a lot of people are saying that he's badly disfigured. They're saying that he lost his leg, one leg, and he's, been hurt very badly. Other people are saying he's dead. Nobody's saying he's 100% healthy. And he hasn't spoken because the Ayatollah would sit and he'd spew hate from a form of a throne. Not as nice as a throne. I like the English throne much better. But it was a fancy chair. But he'd spew hate from his chair. But you'd see him a lot, right? This one we haven't seen at all. So that could be for a lot of different reasons. We don't know, Peter, if he's dead or not.
Now that you've announced...
I will say this, nobody's seen him, which is unusual.
Something else. Now that you've announced that the U.S. has destroyed all of Iran's mine-laying ships, why can't the U.S. just immediately reopen the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, we could, but it takes two to tango. We have to get people to take their billion-dollar ship and drive it up. If when Pepe has his big sugar ships coming around and they cost $1 billion, and we say, I think it's okay now, Pepe, take your ship, drive it through the Strait of Hormuz. He may say, let me wait a little while, because it takes ship owners, and these ships are very expensive. They can cost up to $2 billion. So they don't want to take a chance that, gee, I think you'll be okay. They got to know it. So they don't have to set, we don't know if they even set any mines. But the thought that they may have is enough to keep people from saying, we don't need it. Now, we are pounding that area, that coast, as you know, left side. We're pounding it, like really pounding it hard. And again, they may have no mine set. We hit every one of their mine droppers. They call it the mine layers, right? The ships. They're pretty sophisticated ships. Every one of them is gone. But it only takes one. So it's a little unfair. You win a war, but they have no right to be doing what they're doing. But we're hitting them very hard. And today is a big day where we're pounding a certain area that has very much to do with the Strait. And I think we'll get it going very soon. In addition, we do have other nations coming in. You need people to watch and people to see. We have other nations coming in. Yes, please.
If the United States is working to secure the Strait of Hormuz for the benefit of other countries like China, and our allies aren't yet stepping up to your standard, is the United States getting back to being the world's policeman?
Look, the United States should not be very much involved. They can on a certain basis. They've been doing it for a long time. But I've always said, if you look back years ago, I said, why aren't we being reimbursed? You know, these are the richest countries in the world. Why aren't we being reimbursed for maintaining the Hormuz Strait? And why aren't we being reimbursed for that? I've said that for years. You can go back. They reported on it yesterday. I've been saying a lot of things about the Straits. Number one, I said it's the one advantage they have, but that's a suicidal advantage because they kill themselves more than they kill the rest of the world. And there are things you can do with time. There are other things you can do. But I think we're going to have the situation straighten out pretty quickly. And I think we're going to have some good help. And I think we're going to be disappointed in some nations too. And I'll let you know who those nations are.
One of your advisors, David Sachs, said the other week that the U.S. should, quote, declare victory and get out of the Iran war. He also warned that if the conflict escalates, Israel may contemplate the use of a nuclear weapon. Has he shared that assessment with you?
No, he hasn't. Israel wouldn't do that. Israel would never do that. And, there's a theory. You pounded them to hell, and you could just leave now, and it'll take 10 years for them to build back not nearly what they have right now. And I guess that's another theory. But we want to have it ended so that another president doesn't have. Look, for 47 years, no president was willing to do what I'm doing, and they should have done it a long time ago. It would have been a lot easier. There's no president that wanted to do it. And yet every president knew. I've spoken to a certain president, who I like, actually, a past president, former president. He said, I wish I did it. I wish I did, but they didn't do it. I'm doing it. Yeah.
Which president?
I can't tell you that. I don't want to embarrass him. It would be very bad for his career, even though he's got no career left. Go ahead, please.
You mentioned.
How about the man right
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, you mentioned that you're not entirely sure who you're dealing with, who the leadership is in Iran. Do you see a viable opposition movement still in that country following all of the protests that we had seen before the airstrikes and kind of an opposition movement that could become a viable leader in Iran?
Well, the biggest problem, and we have brave people in this room, but the biggest problem that I see is that, they put out a warning, and we have the warning. We get everything they get. And it said any protester that goes onto the street will be immediately shot and killed. This is a little tougher than the American way. This is not quite as tough as, nobody can believe it. So I can't imagine, they don't have guns. And the other ones have guns. Highly sophisticated machine guns and AK-47s and other kinds of guns. And they did that with the women. So the women had 250,000, even 500 people protesting a year ago. And they shot women right through the middle of the forehead with snipers. And they didn't have to do many. About 10 went down bleeding profusely. And 250 to 500,000 women went running in the other direction. Because they can be brave, but they're not stupid. And they have no gun, and you have snipers in buildings specifically for this reason. So a woman goes down falling, bleeding from the head, and it doesn't take long for that to spread. And when that spreads, that crowd dispenses. And nobody else has been able to do that to the extent that these people are violent. They killed a minimum 2 weeks ago, 32,000 people. So, and they put out actually a notice 2 days ago, if you protest, you will be shot and killed. So, I don't know. I would say Mike Johnson's the only person I know who has the courage to go out in that kind of an atmosphere. I don't think so. Yeah.
Have your advisors told you anything in terms of how long we can expect gas prices as high as they are right now?
I don't need advisors to tell me that. I know what it is. The Prime Minister of UK, United Kingdom, yesterday told me, I'm meeting with my team to make a determination. I said, you don't need to meet it with the team. You're the Prime Minister. You can make your own. Why do you have to meet with your team to find out whether or not you're going to send some minesweepers to us or to send some boats. I said, you don't have to meet with your team. It's the same thing here. I can tell you that when this is over, oil prices are going to go down very, very rapidly. So is inflation, so is everything else. But frankly, much more important than short-term or even long-term oil prices, you can't let the most violent, vicious country in the last 50 years have a nuclear weapon, because the Middle East will be gone. Israel will go first, without question, and they'll certainly take a shot at us before we get our act together and say we got to take them out. You can't let Iran, who's truly a nation of great terror and power. Look what happened in the last 2 weeks. They weren't supposed to go after all these other countries in the Middle East. Those missiles were set to go after them. So they hit Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait. Nobody expected that. We were shocked. And the other one, they fought back. They could have yielded. But think of it, if we weren't around, they had tremendous power. They had thousands of missiles, most of which we've terminated. They had thousands of drones. They were making drones and missiles all over the place. We've knocked out most of those factories. I mean, now they're sending out 2 or 3 missiles. Now, they've still got some. They might have 8% left. But mostly they've been eliminated. They've been terminated by what we did and what Israel did too. Yeah, please.
Israel is expected to expand its ground offensive in southern Lebanon to go after Hezbollah. Have you discussed that with Israeli leaders?
Yeah.
And does the United States support a potential Israeli invasion of Lebanon?
Yeah, no, I did. And I know look, Hezbollah is a problem. It's been a problem for a long time, not just now. And it's a certain area, because I was with the other night a person whose parents live in Lebanon. This is a very substantial person, wealthy person, whose parents live in Lebanon. I said, really? How do you live in Lebanon? Your parents are living? Oh, yeah, they live there. And over the years, they've gotten used to the fact that it's being bombed. But they explained to me that it's really a different section of Lebanon. It's the section where Hezbollah is. And they get used to it, I guess. I don't know. I mean, people live in Ukraine. You would think they wouldn't live in Ukraine, but they live in Ukraine. I don't know that I'd do that. But they live in Ukraine, they live in Lebanon. Hezbollah is a big problem, and they're rapidly being eliminated. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it.
Everybody, closing the poll right now. That was Oscar Ramos live early Monday, almost 3 hours live. What a beauty. So far, crypto doing better than yesterday, so we love that. And I'll keep you in the know with everything you need to know, guys. I want to say thank you so much for coming in. People are feeling more bullish, which is good. Donald J. Trump is feeling good, and that's pretty nice. And those are the questions right now. You're informed with the latest and the breaking updates of the day. 2 days from now, we're going to have FOMC. Make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on. Like, subscribe, and also join me on BTCC, because we got 4,000 XRP ready for you. All the links down below, because I want you guys to make more money. This is it. I mean, this is the time. You're seeing the prices going up and things are changing right now. It is really awesome to see the prices. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Just look at that beauty, guys. It's looking bullish. Longs are making cash. So we'll keep an eye on everything, guys, as always. Thank you, Planets, TJ, Chipper, Ghost, and everybody here. John 316 as well. My admins, appreciate that a lot. Welcome to all the new members, all the new subscribers, Cyber. And I'm going to go ahead and relax a bit. Live for 3 hours. I need a break. But yeah, guys, I hope you liked it. And this is just one of many. So I'm excited. Okay. God bless you all. Happy week. Barely starting. So far, so good. I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.